Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So as I mentioned in my last video, I will be participating in vlogtober. It's not really vlogtober because I'm not vlogging, I'm just making videos. So I'm gonna hopefully make 31 videos, so one video a day for the entire month of October, hopefully. So yeah, let's get on with this week's video. Okay guys, so one of the most important questions, or the most frequently asked questions that I get from persons looking to come to PEI is about housing. How did I find my housing? Is it easy to find housing? All of that. So today I'm going to dive into that video. So I'll admit it right now, housing, it's hard to find housing in Prince Edward Island. Like, it's really hard to find housing. It's hard to find something that's close to the school, that's affordable, because the ones that are closer to the school, they're gonna go really quickly, okay? They're gonna go super quickly. Second of all, the cost. They're in the city, they're gonna be a little bit expensive. So you have to say, okay, can I afford that? All of that jazz. So if you're looking, first of all, if you're new here, on-campus housing, yes, that's definitely one of the ways to go, but on-campus housing can be so expensive. Like, living in a dorm is so expensive. So even though I wanted to do it, I was gonna do it for my first semester, because I'm new to the island, so it will make sense to stay on campus for my first year, and then after that, when I know about the place, then I could move and go somewhere else. But that was not the case. When I applied for on-campus housing, it was already booked, fully booked. Okay, there was no space. So on-campus housing, they go quickly. Even though they're expensive, they go quickly. So if you're gonna stay on campus, make sure you apply very early. When you're thinking about off-campus housing, there's several factors that you need to think about. You have to think about how close or how far it is from the school, the cost, what's included in your rent. Do you get snow removal? Do you get utilities included, or some utilities included? And all of that, you have to factor in all those costs, because if it's a $800 apartment and then you're gonna pay utilities, I recommend finding something that everything is included. That's the best option, everything included, because you don't take on the issue and the hassle of paying your own utilities. So once you have those factors in mind, you get to searching. And like I said, it's not an easy search. It's not an easy search. So you have to be strong. Like, every step of this way to get to Canada to study, you have to be strong. So some of the sites that you can use to get housing, like I said, if you're going to stay off campus, your school usually has an off-campus website. At least mine does. I'm pretty sure most schools do, so please check out your school's off-campus listings, and then you can reach out to some of the landlords. Their emails and numbers are usually listed, so you can just reach out to them. And that's great when you get it directly from the school's off-campus website, because you know they're legit, so they're not gonna scam you. You know, they're not gonna scam you. I had a hard time when I was looking at my school's off-campus housing. It was so hard because I reached out to like 20 persons, and I maybe got 3 responses. Like, out of 20, I got 3 responses, and they weren't good responses. Some were just like, oh, this is already booked. I'm like, okay, thank you. And then, so look into the off-campus listing website for your school, that your school provides. Secondly, other sites that you can look on: Kijiji. Make sure you go on Kijiji. That's where I found my apartment, on Kijiji. So Kijiji is a great option to find apartments. Just remember, do not send money to anyone before you get here. Okay? Kijiji. Join Facebook groups. Okay, I'm still in several housing Facebook groups. So any housing or apartment Facebook groups that's in your area, search Facebook and join them, okay? And then you'll see options, because you'll see them, but they go quickly, so you gotta be on it every single day. Every single day you gotta be checking. So some tips when you're living off campus. Like I mentioned earlier, do not send money to anyone, because people might be scamming you. And I've read countless some other times where people are like, they sent money to the landlord and now the landlord's not responding to their messages and they don't know what's going on. We're not trying to be scammed, okay? We're not trying to be scammed. So do not send money to anyone, period. So another tip, watch out, especially if they're like, we're just not in the province right now, or they're outside of the country. No, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Try to find somewhere that's on the bus route. Chances are you're an international student, you're new, you're not gonna have a car. Most likely you're not gonna have a car. So try to find an apartment or house that's close to the bus stop, okay? You're on the bus route, so you can quickly just walk a 10-minute, 5-minute to the bus route and catch the bus and get to school, okay? Or if you live super close to the school, you can just walk to school. So if the house is super close to school, then you don't have to worry about the bus. Unless it's raining, then you gotta get a taxi or something. And you guys know about how I found my apartment. So when I was searching, I had a hard time. I was searching, I was reaching out to people constantly. No one was responding to me, right? And then I got like 3 responses, and like I mentioned before, it was not good responses. So I still didn't have housing, and my ticket is booked for August and I don't have housing yet. So I was like, about to have a breakdown, because I need to find housing now. So I remember searching, and then I texted my friend and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot find anything, I'm not getting any good news. This time I didn't start looking on Kijiji. I was mostly doing the off-campus housing. That's what I was doing. I didn't start looking at Kijiji yet. And then she sending me some links from Kijiji, and she's like, calm down, just calm down. And she sent me some links, and I reached out, I looked at them, and I reached out to 2 landlords. 2. And within minutes, I heard back from one, which is this one that I'm staying at. I heard back from her, and she was like, yeah, okay. And I introduced myself. Obviously when you're emailing your potential landlord, just tell them a little bit about yourself. So I'm Janique from Jamaica. I'm expected to arrive this time in PI or in Ontario or wherever in Nova Scotia, and I'm looking for housing because I attend blah 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 university. And yeah, just tell them a little bit about yourself. Don't go into details, tell the people your life story, but tell them a little bit about yourself. And yeah, I reached out to her. She basically confirmed housing. She sent me an electronic lease, and I just put my name, my signature. And then I was just like, it's important to ask this. I was like, is it safe to say that I confirmed housing? And she's like, yeah, okay. And she removed the listing, and I had housing now. I was like, and one thing too that eased my mind, because obviously I don't know anyone here to come and check to see if this apartment is real or any of that. So I was just like, I just gotta go with it. But one thing that eased my mind was the fact that my landlord, she mentioned that the school knows her. So I contacted the school with her name, and the school were like, yeah, we know her, we've worked with her before. And I was like, oh, that's great, okay, that's great news. So now I'm like, the school confirmed that they worked with her before in the past. So I was like, okay, great. I'm not worried anymore because the school knows of her, so that means the house is legit. So I'm just like, and I checked and she took the listing down, so now I'm like, yes, I confirmed housing. So that's how I got my apartment. And then while I was in quarantine, because it was like, how is she gonna get the key to me because I have to quarantine. So while I was in quarantine, I quarantined at a government designated location. So the provincial government of PEI, they put me somewhere to quarantine to make sure that I am quarantining. Okay, so I completed my provincial quarantine at my school in the dormitory. So that's how she just brought the keys, left it with the security, tell them what room number, and they brought the keys to me. So that's how I got my keys. And I also have washer and dryer, so I don't have to go to the laundromat. So I just have my days that I'm supposed to use the washer and dryer, so I don't have to go to the laundromat. That's another factor when you're looking for your apartment. Do you have ensuite washer and dryer? If not, do you live close by to a laundromat? If you don't live close by to the laundromat, you're either going to wash with your hands or you're going to take the bus or the taxi with your dirty clothes. Oh, my landlord was super nice because like all throughout my time, like when I was back in Jamaica and trying to get here, she kept giving me updates, information, stuff like that. She's like, oh, did you hear this? I went to the school today and they said this and that. Did you hear? And I was like, yeah, they sent out an email. And she'd be like, oh, they said you gotta be here between this and that time. I was like, okay, great, thank you. She kept she made the process a lot smoother because she kept giving me updates. She kept communicating with me. And I don't know if other landlords do that. I really don't, but mine did, and I'm thankful for that. If you enjoyed this week's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like. That's the same thing. Part 2. If you enjoyed this week's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment down below your favorite part or what you want to see for next week's video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Ding! Don't forget to subscribe, guys, because I don't know why y'all are not subscribed, and I'm dropping gems. So yeah, so that's day 1 of vlogtober. By the way, my birthday is October 2nd. I'm turning 21. So yeah, I gotta work on my birthday. Anyways, bye guys.